the change you wanna see.
Seaside is a caring, connected, and expanding spiritual community, sharing practical tools for richer living.
Just your heart to show you how you can be the change if you wanna.
We join in partnership with God to influence our lives for good, whether for improved health, finances, relationships, or simple happiness and joy.
Plant a flower, watch it grow. You will reap what you sow. You gotta be the change. Everybody. That is your Seaside band. Aren't they wonderful? Give them another round of applause. So lucky to have you guys. So this morning we have Kathleen Lees, who will be holding the light, holding the consciousness of the service this morning. And really what she does is that she anchors in that consciousness as we're listening to Reverend Christian and as we sit here to enjoy this service this morning. So this is representative of her holding the light. And I know I got the good lighter this time. Success. So give her a round of applause. Thank you, Kathleen, for being here this morning. She's going to be sitting over by the Dolphin Legacy where you will see a prayer request box, and I encourage you to put in your prayer. I know I myself have put in at least 3 at a time, and I'm going to put one in today because it just feels so good to know that all the practitioners here at Seaside are holding me in the light, holding me in the love, which I am, which you are, which we are. It's just a great reminder of that knowingness. So we are going to show you a little clip of our CRC Community Resource Center holiday baskets. So go ahead, Marv. wonderful to know that we can show you what it is that we're doing with these CRC baskets. Yeah. And this is from what we give. These are from the bikes that we donate. This is from the coats that we donate. Karen does such a wonderful job of putting everything together. And if for some reason you don't feel like you have anything to give, they're also taking donations. So see Karen, she's in the back. Hi Karen, hello. You can see her at the end of service at her table. So education. Education is going to have their catalog in the program in January. So woohoo! The classes, the workshops, everything is going to be happening, in January. So check out did someone sneeze or were you guys really excited? Okay, so go ahead and check out your programs for January and just see that that's coming out. December 21st, that is a Friday, Drumming in the Light is happening from 7 to 9 p.m. And we have a video clip so that you guys can see what that looks like. And Marv, go ahead and roll the clip. So that's December 21st. All are welcome. I had no idea how to play the drums, and I learned. You see, it was very, very easy. We invite everyone, bring your drums, or if you don't have any, there will be some here available for you. That's December 21st to celebrate the winter solstice. We also have the candlelight service. So the candlelight service has been happening here at Seaside for over 20 years now. And it's such a beautiful, wonderful place to come together with family, with your neighbors, with your friends. We have a cookie exchange as well. So go ahead and remember to bring your cookies. So you bring an open heart, some cookies to exchange, and just know that you're gonna have a lot of fun. It's a very loving community. We always are. And this time we're calling in over 500 people that will be here for the 23rd. And then we have Christmas ceremony potluck, which is happening on Christmas Day. That's December 25th at 1 p.m. And the Next Gen New Year's retreat, that's happening December 29th to January 1st. So just by a raise of hands, how many of us know individuals from the ages of 18 to 35-ish? 35? I know there's a lot more of us. Invite them to come to the retreat. So invite them to come. This is a beautiful, wonderful place where millennials, right? Where us millennials can come together, like-minded individuals, to come into a retreat, to talk about consciousness, to have these conversations that we may not be having outside of these walls or outside of a center. So go ahead and invite them. Come and talk to me, or you can talk to Audra for more information on that. And the tickets are already on Eventbrite, so you can check that out, or our website. The Burning Bowl ceremony is happening December 31st at 7 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. And then the living room conversations. So if you check your programs, there is a living room conversations flyer in there. And the living room conversations are a bridge across issues that divide and separate us. They use an easy structure for engaging in friendly yet meaningful conversation with those with whom we may not agree. These conversations increase understanding, reveal common groups, and often allow us to discuss possible solutions. In October and November of this year, Seaside held 2 living room conversations on the topics of ethnicity, race, and immigration. In collaboration with Boulder Together San Diego, we are planning our living room conversations for 2019. So we'd like to know which topics are most compelling and most important to you. So what do you want to talk about? So check out your program today. There is a living room conversation survey. Please fill it out and drop it off at the living room conversation table in the family room by December 16th. So if you have it today, just fill it out and drop it off today so you don't have to worry about that. And then tomorrow, December 10th, Callie is hosting Seaside Sisters Sacred Space. It's a Celtic theme to celebrate the season and honor the earth. So wear your best goddess wear. This is for women. So ladies, wear your best goddess wear. Bring an appetizer or a dessert to share, and bring a girlfriend. This is a great time to go out, be in community with powerful, conscious, individual women these are leaders of our community. It's a great time to come. It's at 7 o'clock tomorrow right here at Seaside. And with all that being said, we may now stand and greet our neighbors.
morning, Seaside. Please remain standing for the congregational song. All right, we're going to do a song that we've done this one before. It's got a little bit of a call and response vibe to it, okay? Why don't you help? All right, I'm going to say some lines, and then when I say I choose joy, you say I choose joy, all right? Here we go. When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning around, I choose joy. I choose joy. When my heart won't seem to move, when my music's lost its groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy. I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy. I choose joy. When betrayal and the lies hide the light from my eyes, I look up to the sky and I choose joy. I choose joy. Now we're gonna say joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. You say joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Beautiful. Come on, Bob. That's Bob on the sax. Come on, Max. Give us that both and over. Give it up for Max on the piano. In this moment right here, I choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. Now we say joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. You say one more time. Say joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Your turn. Yeah, Seaside.
All right. Boy, what a great choice. Hey, Rebecca. Woo. Hey, Joy. Aren't you doing the gig here in town? Close Thursday? Yes.
Yeah, on this Thursday, December 13th, going to be performing at a brand new venue, a multi-purpose space, and I'm really excited about it. And we were able to actually get an online link if you want to buy your tickets beforehand, because it's a small space where it's not going to seat that many people, so it's very intimate. And come join us on Thursday. It's going to be exciting. And Harley's going to be playing with me.
Really? Oh, wow. Hey, Harley, way to go.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Going. All right. Well, good morning, Seaside. Woo, what a joy it is to be with you here on this joy-filled day. That was a fun song. It was actually felt like joy, 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 joy. Yeah, they let me sing sometimes, not very often, but I can handle those. Anyway, this joy is my thing. That's in my wheelhouse. That's who I am. That's what my ministry is. That's how I sign off on all my letters. And Pierre Teilhard Chardin said, I wrote in the program, so it's not like if I blow it, you've got it accurate. But he said, joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. I mean, I just love that one. Joy is really where it's at. There is enough pain and sadness out there that if we can choose to move towards joy, and this season is about the light, it is about the joy, it is about reminding us. So if you're here for the first time, welcome into the Seaside Joy. We are so joy-filled that you are here. And if you're here for the second time or the second 100th time, just know that your presence is significant and it makes a difference, and you touch our hearts that you have chosen to be here to celebrate the joy of that which is about to unfold. And what is about to unfold always comes forth from Spirit. We start with Spirit, and so we have a wonderful practitioner here today, not only a medical practitioner as a nurse, but also a spiritual practitioner of consciousness at Seaside. This is Annie Prescott.
Thank you, Christian.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming here. In this joy-filled spirit, I'd like you all to join me in the silence. Just relax, let go of everything that brought you here today. And it is in this joy-filled, loving, abundant season that we are here together, that each one here is love manifesting, that absolutely everything is God manifesting, and that the message that Christian brings here today is enjoined in everyone's heart, and that the consciousness is spread from his heart to each one's heart here and out into the universes.
All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. God is good. And so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. God is good, and so it is. God is good, and so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, God, I love that one. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Annie, for your beautiful prayer. Good morning, family. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, family. Good morning. Oh, there you are. Oh, such a joy to see you this morning, to be with you in celebration on this beautiful Sunday morning, especially this time of year. My name is Audra Nicole. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a practitioner here at Seaside. I support our congregation as a whole, serving in finance and operations on staff. I'm our vice core for the PCC, and my deep passion in serving is on our next gen leadership team for our annual retreats. Kat mentioned that today. We're very excited that we have an upcoming New Year's retreat. So if you know anyone, 20s and 30s, who could really benefit from deep connection, community, coming together, to really process 2018, release it, and birth in a beautiful 2019, send them our way, and we'll love them up for 4 days. Loving them up, loving you up, that's what we do here at Seaside. It's who we are, it's what we be. Community, celebration, and family. And if it's your first time with us this morning, I want to say a special thank you. We are so honored that you chose to spend your time with us this morning. we haven't had the honor and privilege of meeting you personally, I know that I would love to. And if you see anyone wearing these beautiful green stoles, they're our practitioners, and they are here today to love you up. They are here today to pray with you, to pray for you. If there's anything heavy on your heart that you would love some support with, or if things are going beautifully and you're open to more good, it's also a beautiful time for prayer. And if you don't want to talk about it, but you want to receive, we can do that too. We have these amazing prayer request forms in 2 places. We have them back there, and we have them in the hall. You fill it out, you tell us what you would love, and 40 practitioners hold the light for you and pray for you all week long. I know it's cliche, we say it a lot, prayer works, but the thing is, it works. So take advantage. And if you're new and you'd love some more information, we also have these for you at both doors. This morning, it's my honor and privilege to do a brief reading as we settle in and share this amazing time together. I'm going to be reading from a book called Joy is My Compass by Alan Cohen. He says, "Let it be easy. When I feel a sense of struggle or pressure, which is moving me to step out of peace, I hear an inner voice ask, how would you be seeing or doing this differently if you were willing to let it be easy? As I consider an easier way to approach the situation, a sense of peace and freedom comes over me. From this perspective, I can easily see the way out. Many of us have been imprinted with the belief that life is a struggle, that we have to work to earn love and support, and that suffering and sacrifice buy happiness. But none of that is true. The glory of life is to live in graceful, joyous celebration. The love of God is a total gift without charge. To enjoy peace requires no loss whatsoever. When Albert Einstein was asked, "What is the most important question facing humankind today?" he answered, "Is the universe a friendly place?" I'm here today to tell you that it is. So let joy be our compass, because joy is my compass. I'm taking the risk to follow my bliss. I'm making a start to follow my heart, and I'm ready now. Joy is my compass. It leads me everywhere I need to go. It shows me everything I need to know. It's my highway home to the kingdom. Joy is my compass. My spirit is singing. My heart song is ringing. The song of my soul is bringing me home. Joy is my compass.
All right. Oh, that's a good word this morning. Get the day started. Good morning, Seaside. All right. Well, it is my honor to introduce our guest artist, and I definitely have to say this gal has a special place in my heart. We are really good friends, and we actually got to play in a band together for almost a decade. We played together in the same band, and she's just such a wonderful person, incredible voice, and she recently did a CD with a new band and called Rose's Cantina, and you can check it out on the website, rosescantinaband.com, and she's also having a birthday concert at Park and Rec on December 21st, so you can check all that out on the website, rosescantinaband.com. Without further ado, please help me welcome my very, very special friend, Carissa Schrader.
Good morning. Oh, see, that was good. You guys are warmed up.
up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes. Something out of nowhere, love, wears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Lovely day, 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 lovely day. Come on. When the world that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, seems someone else ahead of me always seems to know the way. And then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Lovely days and lovely day, lovely day, oh lovely day, lovely days and lovely day, oh lovely, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely, lovely day. Yeah. All right, Seaside, come on. Ooh, lovely day, a lovely day, say lovely day, oh lovely day, oh lovely day, it's a lovely, 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 lovely day, lovely day. You guys ready? You seem like you're enjoying singing this one. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Ooh, lovely, lovely day.
That is Carissa Schrader bringing us the lovely day, a lovely morning. Woo! Nice job with that. Thank you, man. It is a lovely day. See, that's what joy is all about. You feel that? That's what we're talking about. It's not about words, and it's not about quotations. It's not even about my talk, really. It's about that feeling, that essence that stirs your soul. That is the divine download that comes your way. You know, there's from Proverbs, in the 15th chapter, it says, a joyous heart lives in a continuous feast. You got that? Does that feel good? A joyous heart is a continuous feast is what's going on. You can continue to live with the feast of life and the joy of life if you keep that joy in your heart. Sounds like a simple plan. Yesterday, we put up the lights around our house, inside and out. My job is the outside, and over the last few years, there's patches of lights that don't seem to be working anymore. And I've done my best to ignore them, but it's finally caught up. And so I went out and bought 3 or 4 new boxes of lights and got excited to put them up on our in our white eaves. And I realized that they were all the green cords. You know, yeah, I didn't think it was that funny in the moment. So anyway, I gave them to Callie so you could have fresh lights for our green tree. And I went out and I made sure I got the white cords. I looked at the picture on the box, sparkling bright. I brought home 4 new boxes of lights for our eaves, and I opened up the box, and sure enough, they were white cords, but they were colored lights, and all we have are clear ones around the place. So now, Home Depot, Saturday morning before the Christmas, when it's been raining and they haven't sold Christmas trees for days, is packed. It is my third trip, and and now I'm getting going, and it's noon. I wanted to be done by lunch, and I get to decide right there. It's going to be a lovely day, lovely, yeah, right. That was not the song going through my head in that moment. But I got to tell you, it comes back to, do we choose to exercise our choice and have a lovely day, to live with a sense of joy, or am I going to give my power away to that which doesn't deserve, I don't want to be experiencing? It comes down to a wonderful line that Joshua said. He said, choose you this day who you're going to serve. It's like pretty simple. It's a profound question. Choose you this day who you're going to serve. And he said, for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. But I mean, are you going to serve Home Depot that just messed up your morning and allow yourself to be really upset? Are you going to allow yourself to be in bondage to the pains of this world that are in your life? Are you going to choose to have a lovely day, to see clearly, to experience joy? It comes down to your choice. And it's not really a question. It is really a commandment. Choose. And when you choose in advance, then when you begin to take a look at things that aren't so lovely, you begin to recognize, okay, what am I going to do with this? I'm not going to be in bondage here. I'm going to choose to be able to exercise a little bit more of my experience. And when I get knocked down, you basically have a choice at that moment. When you get squeezed, when you have the challenges show up, you get to decide whether I am going to run or whether I'm going to play. Yeah, that's it. Am I going to get out of here or I'm going to stay here? Those are pretty much your choices there. Choose this day what you're going to do. Am I going to quit or keep going? And the fact that you're still here, that's a pretty good sign that there's something inside of you that has decided you're going to keep going in this world, that you're going to keep working with it. And I'm going to choose then to begin to see as Spirit sees. But that's next week's message, right? So, Trevor and I were driving along PCH, down by Swami's. Saw a guy just standing there, he's just like in bliss. And he wasn't one of the brothers from SRF. And he wasn't some deep yogi that just had this vibe emanating around him where the birds were landing on him. It wasn't this great metaphysical teacher. It was a guy who was just an absolute sense of peace, flying his little radio remote glider plane along the winds, along the bluffs of Swami's there. And he was just in a state of peace. And he would send this plane way down the coast, and then he would bring it back. Now everybody's using drones, but this was when people were actually in bliss over gliders, having fun, circular. And what I noticed is there was no struggle in it. It was just little wrists, moving the plane to the right, to the left, and moving things around just gently. And that's how we can move through this life, on the currents and the winds. If I'm going to choose to experience joy in my world, then I'm the one who's got to make that choice, to have joy in my world. And I could be effortlessly gliding upon the winds and the currents of my world, or I can choose to be in this struggle. Choose this day who you're going to serve. Am I going to serve joy? Am I going to serve the Spirit? Or am I going to serve the constraints and the fears? Yeah. It's not as if you make a choice to serve Spirit that all of a sudden things become like easy, but it's not with struggle. My kingdom, am I going to be in this world of material manifested universe with struggle and pain and challenges? Or am I going to choose that spiritual kingdom? And when I choose the spiritual kingdom, doesn't mean you need to check out of this world. You don't need to go join an ashram or hang out on a mountaintop or leave your family even. You can be spiritual with your family. You can be spiritual doing your gig, your job, your life, and bring forth this consciousness of joy as you move through the questions. Because, when you are doing your life that is bringing a sense of fulfillment, it doesn't mean the path is simple. It may be quite demanding. And you put in a lot of time and energy and effort, but it's your passion, it is your love, it is your dharma, it is your joy. And that's how you bring joy to this world, is all of a sudden, you know what? This is my life. Wow, That's good realization. This is my life. This is really the one and only opportunity you're going to get to live this life. Who knows? You may get another one, but all I know is you've got this one right here, right now, and I get to decide whether I am going to live this life full out or am I going to struggle with this life. I get to decide. This is my opportunity to bring forth my gifts and my talents and who I am in my own unique kind of self-expression. And as I go through life, I can stress out about those things that come up against it, or I can move through it with a sense of joy and ease. I know, Richard Bach, you remember that book Illusions about the reluctant Messiah, kind of the pilot? And Richard Bach kept asking him questions and he couldn't quite comprehend, like why Donald Shimoda was the reluctant Messiah's name, how his airplane, because he was a pilot, never had dead bugs on the windshield. You know, he couldn't figure, or why there weren't signs of the oil leaks coming out the side of the plane. But I got it figured out. It's because Don Shimoda, he just didn't allow the things of the world to bug him. So it didn't like stick. And his mind was so in gear that it wasn't leaking oil and stuff like this. And so we have this opportunity to step into life and to recognize the magnificence of our being, the self-worth of our being, and bring this to the game. And so Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of religious science. And once again, he said, hey guys, this isn't any revelation to me. This just happens to be this common thread of truth that has woven itself through all the religions. I just dropped the rules, the regulations, the creeds, the dogmas, that kind of stuff. But there tends to be this common thread of truth that shows up through the great religions. And he put together a book called The Science of Mind. And he wrote this that I want to share with you on page 292 for all you textbook-toting metaphysicians. He said, there are no mistakes in the divine plan for me. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, no mistakes in the divine plan for you. It may feel like it, but spiritual truth is there are no mistakes in the divine plan for you. But you got to get into the spirit. It's not as if things don't get tough or the ways of this world, but in that kingdom, in the God kingdom, the divine plan, there's really no mistakes for you. So you got to get it on track. So I stand in the midst of the eternal opportunity, which is forever presenting me with the evidence of its full expression. I am joy, peace, and happiness. I am the spirit of joy that is within me. I am the spirit of peace that is within me, of poise and of power. I am the spirit of happiness that is within me. I radiate life. I am life. There is only one life. That life is God's life, and that is my life now, and it is good. That's the truth of our being. You know, you take a look at a child, at least I know myself at Christmas time. I was blessed. You know, I just had, my parents loved to make Christmas wonderful for their kids, and I was the recipient, and my brother. And what is fun is I remember leading up to Christmas, there would be something I would want, and I would start dreaming about it, and I would start talking about it, and I would start hanging up pictures about it, and I would start living it, and I would start being it. And all of a sudden what I discovered is Spirit provided. And it's like, wow, what a great realization is that when you can live it, dream it, be it, think about it, talk about it, have images about it, experience the joy around it, not like something I need to want to get, but rather something that I am already, that your prayers are coming from, not it's out there and I want it. All of a sudden, what I learned is being that, it began to show up in my life. Powerful way to do prayers. And our prayers, I want you to know, I believe that some of the most powerful prayers that we can have is laughter, is joy, is happiness, is music, song. Some people say singing is praying twice. You know, it's dance. It is being with friends. This is the kind of expression. And when you choose to love, what happens is God becomes present here on earth. Well, that's good. First service, and get that one. I like that. When you choose to love, Spirit becomes present here on earth. Love isn't something you analyze. It's something you appreciate. But I got to tell you, I know a lot of people say, okay, I got to be careful before I say I love you. I got to analyze this. See if I say it, will they say it back? What does it really mean? And just be like that little kid at Christmas time who is just being that creation. You want to be that. You want to be the place where you are expressing the joy, that infallible sign of the presence of God. You know, that one mind, the only mind, which is the God mind, which is the perfect mind. That is the mind that you are. That's what you live and move and have your being. And so what I'm looking for are people who are able to do their prayers with joy and laughter and feasting and love and caring and community together. It's easy, not easy, but it's nice to be able to do our meditations, you know, by ourselves. That's sweet. Online, I love you guys at home, you know, but you can't do community song online by yourself. You know, you can't pray in a group and have that collective power without your tribe, your clan. It's coming together with those that find joy in the self-expression of the Spirit. That is a transformative experience that is wonderful and magical, and it's just what one wants to be. You know, there are so many people who talk about that higher power, that spirit. You know, they had this near-life death experience, which is beautiful and wonderful. But I hear people so much talk about, I think they call them OBEs, out-of-body experiences. And OBEs are wonderful. But I'm looking for the IBEs, the in-body experience. You know, the IBs, if you would. I be this self-expression. You know, you don't have to be a walk-in or a walk-out or an extraterrestrial or someone who has been abducted or a disincarnated entity or a reincarnation of Cleopatra to have had those experiences of that greater presence of God. I want to know those people who have seen God with their own eyes, felt that presence with their own being while they are here on earth, so they can be an emanation of this vibration of being, which we are here to bless and to bring forth. I hear people talk about so much, is there life after death? I feel what's a far more relevant question, is there life before death? We are the ones who get to decide what we're doing with it. If we're missing out on the joy, you know, then get into the joy game. You know, it's a holiday season that is about joy. And you may choose to spend some time with the sadness of your heart and the nostalgia. And I encourage you to take out the pictures of those that have been part of your Christmas past and to be there and to connect and to love. And then be able to get back in joy. Because I'll tell you, those that have loved you, that are no longer in your world, I believe would want nothing more for you than to experience joy. You know, my parents aren't here. I know that they would love for me to bring the joy to my kids just the way they brought the joy to me, not to get caught up in that loss. And so what we get to do is choose to allow that joyful heart to be the continual feast in which we get in. And so that includes sadness as well as joy. But you've got to make the decision, you know what? I know that I'm not going to be bound by any one particular decision that I'm going to make. I am going to go with the presence of God flowing in my life, because this is a season of light. It is a season of renewal, of rebirth, of new possibilities that brings greater joy if there's space to receive that joy. So if you're not experiencing the joy, then I encourage you to bump start it by doing something joyous. Yeah. Yeah. And what really feels the most good is doing something for others. You know, you want to feel something really good. Those coats, we got this coat drive. You know, drop a coat off in there. We are bringing, you know, coats and blankets. There's 1,600 families in our North County community. They're going to be walking through the fairgrounds to receive the presents and the gifts that our communities have brought together to support them. You know, people have been dropping their coats off on the way out, because it's, you know, Tuesday, and we're finalizing that. I'm not saying drop your coat off there on the way out, but what I want you to recognize is there's such a, one year we decided we wanted to bring a blanket to everyone. So Bill Siemens, I don't see him here, but he somehow figured out how to get some blankets shipped in from somewhere. And we literally, as a community, purchased 1,500 blankets. This stage was filled with boxes and blankets across the whole thing. We were so excited to be able to deliver a blanket. It brought true joy. And the story, one of the stories I got back from Bill that that day is that as he handed the blanket to a mother, she looked at the dad and said, which one of the children gets the blanket? And realized that there's 5,000 to 6,000 individuals that we're serving, not just the families. You want to experience joy? Find a way to give. I hear enough people hacking this season. Man, they're coughing, and me too, briefly. Here's a good thing. You want to find joy? Bring them some chicken soup. There you go. It's like, doesn't have to be a big thing. Yes, grandma's secret recipe is probably really good. But I went to Trader Joe's. I found a way to make chicken soup in literally less than 3 minutes because they were selling the stuff. And so I figured out, I'm going to give you the recipe. You don't even have to write it down. It's so simple. You pour in a box of the chicken broth. Unless you're a veggie, then you pour in veggie broth, but it doesn't make sense because it's chicken soup. But anyway, you get the can of white chicken that's right next to the tuna. You put it in there, and you get a tub of the salsa, the chunky kind, the especial, and you figure out if you want it mild, medium, or hot. And you put it in there, and you stir it up, and you give them a bag of chips with it and say, there you go, chicken tortilla soup for you. That's great. I mean, I put in a few beans and corn, but, that do something that is fun like that. Open your house to someone who doesn't have a place to go for Christmas. My parents did that for 45 years. They didn't miss a year. They were doing it before I arrived, and they were doing it after I arrived. And people for 45 years never missed a Christmas Eve at our house. Bring them to Seaside for the candlelight service. Don't let anybody be alone who doesn't want to be alone for the holidays. The joy is sharing this. The fun one we've probably all done is Starbucks, right? You go and you get from the bistro a little $25 gift card, and then you give it to her or him and say, buy someone a cup of coffee after me. Buy everyone a cup of coffee until it's gone. But don't tell anybody. And then you go sit down in the stool and you just watch people smile. You'll find your heart is filled with joy. That is the endless feast of spirit that can show up in our life when we're willing to do that. You see, this season reminds us. But as we know, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Diwali, Thanksgiving, we know it's not a time, it's not a season. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And as we begin to develop that, it plays out not only in December, but through the rest of the year. But why don't we just embrace the collective energy that is alive this time of year when everyone around you is ready to be happy and joy-filled? And let the Scrooges be the Scrooges, but you can hang out with those that are willing to experience the joy and the love and able to make the difference. In Hebrews, as chapter 10, verse 24, it says, help each other and work with each other so all can love and do good works. Actually, think about each other. Then it says work with each other so you can, do love and do good works together. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to express. There's this young mom whose son, Kenny, she was at the doctor's. So she was sitting in one of those synthetic leather doctor, chairs in the lobby. And her little 5-year-old son was sitting on the floor right in front of her. She was keeping an eye on him. And he had bandages around his head that covered his eyes. He just has little blonde hair sticking up. And she was looking at him thinking, boy, he's looking pretty, frail and thin for a 5-year-old. And he's holding on to his little teddy bear. It is his life support. I mean, it's a mangy-looking little teddy bear. He's probably had it from the day he's born. Trevor had a bunny like that. No hair, missing ears. Well, this little teddy bear, it was missing one arm. It was missing one light. But it was his security. And the nurse came and called him into the doctor's office, the waiting spot or wherever. And so she scooped up her little 5-year-old, and this young mom set her son down on the examination table, and she said, be careful, don't fall. And he said, is this high up? He said, no, just be careful. And so he held onto his bear a little bit tighter. He called him Gurface. Who knows what we call her. But anyway, he held on to Gurface tightly, and as she was sitting and they were waiting, and the haunting rendition of Silent Night of the elevator music was coming through, she had the vision again of the accident for like the millionth time of when she cooked. She always had the pots in the back of the stove on the back burners. But this time, the water she was working on boiling was on the front, and the phone rang, and she went to pick it up, and it was one of those marketers, trying to give her something for free that cost her dearly, because as she was setting the phone down, she heard her little guy scream, and he had knocked the boiling water over on top of him. And so they rushed him off to the doctors, and they've got him bandaged up and said he has to wear the bandage for several weeks to get it off just before Christmas. And so this was the time. And she was reminiscing and crying and all those things. The doctor walks in and says, hello, Mrs. Ellis, how's it going? And she said, fine. She was not really any space for, small talk. And so he pulled the stool over and he sat down next to little Kenny Ellis, and he very carefully, cut the bandage off, and then he just unwrapped it from around the side of his head. And they got that off, and what was left were two of the square gauze patches over his eyes, and he carefully, peeled those off. And little Kenny kind of batted his eyes and like the shock of the light. And he looked at Mom, his mother, and he smiled and said, "Hi, Mom, I'm back." And she just cried, and she hugged her little boy, and she just looked at Dr. Harris and said, I just thank you. I have no idea how we're going to be able to pay you or repay you for this. And he said, Miss Ellis, we've already talked about that. There's nothing you need to do. It was taken care of. It's okay. I knew you and Kenny's situation. There's nothing you can do, and there's something I could do. I just want you to know the joy that is within my heart. And so she got up and took little Kenny's hand. As they were walking out, Kenny kind of pulled away and turned back to the doctor and looked down for a second. And then he took little Gurface by the one arm it had and held it up and said, "Dr. Harris, you can have this. I'm sure it's worth a lot." Oh, that's right. So he took in both hands and said, "This is more than enough payment. Kenny, that's good." So they're home a couple nights before, looking at the fire, twinkling and the lights. Kid didn't want to go to sleep because he hadn't been able to see for weeks. And on Christmas Eve, Kenny's mom got up to the door, the bell rang, and she went, and there was a big golden present wrapping shining outside the door, which was exciting because there were only two small ones under the tree. It was only mom and son with not much. And so she brought it in. It had Teddy's name on the tag. So Teddy didn't even wait for mom to say it was okay. He ripped it open. And inside the box was a teddy bear. And as he pulled out the teddy bear, what it was Gurface. And it had a new arm sewn on it. It was a corduroy arm. It was a different color arm. And two new shining, sparkling buttons for eyes. And there was a tag in there that said, "Dear Kenny, I may help children get themselves back together, but I'm not very good with bears. I had to get some help from Mrs. Harris. She's a better bear doctor than I am. Merry Christmas." And so that was good class. I'm just sharing these stories and how we can be in that place of flow and giving and love that are outside the box. Mother Teresa told us that don't worry about numbers. Just care for one at a time. And always remember to care for the one that is nearest you. The holidays is an essence and a feeling that can be part of us always. It's up to us to be able to embrace that and to feel that and to sense that. It's the great spiritual teachers have always been one who have shared their light. Jesus, when he got it, what did he do? He spent several years walking the countryside, sharing the teachings. I look at my plum tree, peach tree, pear trees. All they do is give, give, give. Buddha, when he got under the Bodhi tree, he woke up and it's like the light, I'm awake. What did he do? He spent the rest of his life walking through India, set up ashrams and places for healing. When Moses got it, what did he do? He came down from the mountain with the tabs and said, "Here you go, guys. Try following this. Good luck." But he was willing to put forth what it is. You have come here, and this is your opportunity to share your gifts, your talent, your love, your light, and to allow that to be fulfilling for you. And you'll know it's working, as Audrey was sharing from that book. Let joy joy be the compass, if joy is the thing that is working, then you're right on, because I got to tell you, it is time to be stuck and bound and constrained and in pain when you don't have to be there anymore. This is the appointed time and moment for joy to enter into the equation in your life and to live with a sense of freedom, a sense of self-expression. Mediocrity and bondage, it doesn't fit you. What fits you is the ability to live your dharma, your passion, your light, your joy. That Spirit is here to support you. As you go for it, you will find yourself being sourced all the way. Your heart will be on fire with joy. You'll be living in the continuous feast, or should we say it's a banquet, or what are those things where you can eat as much as you want? It's a buffet, yeah. There's a non-ending aspect of it all. And so really, I'm just here today to remind you as you go into this season that there's absolutely no reason in the world for you to be miserable during this holiday season. I watch too many people say, it's the holidays, I got to make sure everything's perfect, and they stress themselves out. They're individuals, got people coming over, the house has got to be perfect, and the plates have got to be right, and the food, and then they stress themselves out. They go do the family things. You go to family, it's supposed to be one of joy, not anger and fighting and hostility. It comes down to who are you going to serve this day? Your fear, the old stories, or are you going to allow yourself to serve that Spirit, to be that place where you become the bringer of that light, that you get to be the one who brings the joy to the party? The holidays are not meant for you to stress out, put yourself in financial challenges or difficulties. I love doing this talk before things really get going, so I can remind you, it is not about making it tough after December 25th for yourself. It's not about making a party that you don't want to go to. What it is about is living your joy, is living your passion, and being that so others around you are in that wonderful divine vibration that you have been charged to bring. So who are you going to serve this day? God bless you. So welcome back to the stage, Carissa, who can help us see a little clearer here.
Yeah, hi. On the break, he said, sometimes the song just lines up so perfectly, and it's really fun when that happens, and now I see what you mean. You guys can sing along if you know it. You probably do. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of those bad feelings have disappeared. This is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Well, look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Well, look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky.
can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Well, here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Ooh, oh, it's gonna be bright, 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 sunshiny day. Ooh, it's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. Ooh, oh, it's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day.
And that is Carissa Schrader. Nice job, man. Bright sunshine day. I love that. That is. Oh, my. All right. Well, this is the time of the service where we have the opportunity to share our gift, to share our offering, and know that it's something that comes from our heart and our soul. And you're able to create this space that makes a difference in all of our lives that come together. But I also want to say, love you guys there on online and live streaming. I understand you got a great chat going on. There's hundreds of you on Facebook Live today, and the conversations going on between all sorts of individuals like Laura and Mark and Victoria and Claire and Nancy and Darla and Waleska and Annette. John, the operation this week and came out great. Emily, congratulations on nursing him back to health. I'm sure it was all you. So that was good. And Dr. Christina, she never misses when she misses. So it's like... just a lot's going on. And so wherever you are, you know that you can watch it during the week. You can listen to the Joy's podcast, share it with a friend, all those things. But right now, I just want to let you know how full my heart is with the joy of the good that is going on and the magic that we're creating. And so I want to invite our ushers to come forward at this time as we do take this gift from our heart and our soul. And know that you can't outgive Spirit. You can try, but you're dealing with that which is infinite. And when you allow yourself to just be that vortex of that abundant flow, what you find is abundance flowing in your life in all those ways that are perfect. That's what the law of circulation is all about. You give and you receive, but that's not why you do it. That's real important. It's not like an exchange. It's just a matter of consciousness being in abundance. So with that, I want to share this prayer of abundance, of gratitude, with the most generous of spiritual communities, that knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness of the divine has its way, where the richness of God continues to express as our very expression. And I know right now that we come to recognize that our true source is infinite, and its streams of support are infinite, and that we become that tap, that avenue, that conduit that taps into that infinite reservoir that truly is exhaustible, that flows through our life, bringing the joy of our self-expression, that we courageously and boldly go forth, sharing that which brings us joy, knowing that Spirit's source is that on its way. And so we give that which has blessed our life and know that it continues to go out, bringing those blessings and good to everyone who comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to share this love and this light. And so it is. Amen. Together, let us share this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. from Seaside. So as I stand before this bounty, I can feel the outpouring of love, of the caring, of the compassion, of the supportive spirit. I know right now that this supportive spirit's work finds its reciprocating expression in the very lives of all those that have given. For truly it's the level for which we have given that sense of stretch, that we find that new space for the greater expression of God. So with joy we have given, with joy we continue to receive, and with joy we continue to live in this wonderful flowing universe. So I say thank you, Father, Mother God, for the ability to be able to share and support God's good work. And this gift that has been given is received in good stewardship. It is handled in good stewardship, and it is set forth back into life to bring these blessings and this love that you infused with these gifts to more and more individuals as it travels through time. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to be able to share at this grand level, and so it is. Amen. Hey, this is Edwin Robinson. He is your board president. Also holding up this wonderful new live streaming team, the video team and all that. So great job with what you're doing. Speaking of great job, Carissa, oh my goodness, fabulous, wonderful. I love your voice, the grit at the end. It's just beautiful. Thank you. Rebecca, you're just beautiful, and bless you and love you, and thank you for sharing yourself with us. Looking forward to the 23rd candlelight service. Is your mom's going to be with us? Yeah, all right. That'll be great. Thursday night, you go hear Rebecca live. And here's the inside tip. It's only like $12 a ticket, right? I know, $12, small venue, big band, be great. Anyway, Audra, always a joy to share Sunday morning with you. Audra Nicole, as you heard, on staff here at Seaside. Giving us sound today is Ed. Thank you very much. Giving the visuals today is Marv. Great job. Big shout out to the whole live streaming video team. There's a lot that makes it happen. And so it looks like Steve Grant and Edwin are in the booth switching here today. So lots going on. Take a look at the program. Know that there's so many places for you to come play. I don't want you or anyone you know to be alone. Our place is open. Starting Monday night, the Seaside Sisters are bringing together a wonderful Celtic, ceremonial, ritual kind of evening. It's going to be magical with music. Reverend Lori Mack is going to join Callie again. Looks like Bethany's going to be playing. It's going to be a magical night. But guys, we got our own thing going on. We got Saturday men's group getting together, all guys who are invited to the Holder's house. I love people throwing parties, and I just stand up and invite everybody, and they say, Christian. But anyway, I'm telling you, open invitation to Holders. You'll find out about it inside your Sunday program. So that's going on. How about the solstice celebration? You know, if you want to really get out of your body, that good paganistic kind of, root chakra energy going on, it's just a fun night. I'm making fun. It is very special, ritualistic, symbolic, and deep shifting, and just greeting the return of the sun. So that's on the 21st. 23rd, you know where you're going to be. The next gen at the end of the month, the next generation's coming from across the country, the movement, to do their annual retreat here at Seaside this year. So we feel very honored to host that. The teens are doing their camp after that. We've got burning bowl ceremonies. We've got the wonderful coat drive. There's just so much. You've got it all written out, but I'm just telling you, because I want you to experience the joy in this season, no matter what's going on, to pick and choose. But of course, we'll see a candlelight service on the 23rd. But what I want to do now is pray. So I see our children walk in. Hey, Dawn, anybody want to say anything before I get into that praying zone? No? Yes? No? Yes? Maybe. Could be. Hey, you know, we're going to have Santa Claus here on Sunday night, the 23rd. We're all going to sing. It's going to be like the living room, and then Santa Claus is going to end the night. It's going to be great. Rebecca's going to do Jingle Bells. We're going to invite everybody up on stage to listen to the reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So, who wants? What's that? Oh, nice. Anybody want to talk?
So we were talking about prayer and specialness.
Nice.
And we made these bells what ring.
Oh, fun.
And we got these candles what light up, and they have faces.
Oh, nice. Looks like frosty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bring your bells and bring your candles to the candlelight service. It's really fun for a whole family experience for sure. Hey, let's say this together. We see you. We love you. We support you in your magnificence. And so I want to pray. So I invite any of our religious science practitioners to stand. Invite us all to feel that love and that energy and that light and that life force. For the presence of God moves right here in this moment. Feel that, sense it. It's not about the words, but rather it is about a deeper sense of connectedness with the infinite. For that presence of God, feel that beyond words, with something that is beyond words, with a peace that passes even understanding. For the grace and the good of Spirit is sufficient, it is enough, and it moves in this moment. Feel that something, that first breath, that first pulse that brought you into expression. And know right now that it is the wonderful expression of God that touches you in those ways that are perfect and divine. Feel that something. And know that God is. In the isness of the divine, you have come forth as a perfect expression of the light. That joy is the natural state of being. And if for any reason there is anything going on in life right now that is questioning that natural state of joy and happiness and laughter, of music, of song, know that it is the human condition, it is the physical fact, but in the presence of God there can be no otherness. And as I choose to know which I align with this day, choose you this day who you serve, I'm going for that heavenly kingdom, that divine kingdom. And with that, the gates open. The good pours forth. The abundance is natural. The body continues to come into its perfect alliance, its perfect balance, its perfect weight, its perfect mobility, its perfect expression. For this body is the temple of God, and it knows how to heal itself. I need not tell what my cells have to do, but rather I just need to enter into that divine vibration of the spirit of that wholeness and know that anything unlike it cannot remain, and it just dissolves, is neutralized, it is gone. And what remains is that vibrant expression of that self, that God self, that higher self. And that is what I charge into life with, that I choose to move forward. I choose to get up again. And I choose to go after that which turns my soul on, and know that anything that brings that great sense of joy that is a blessing to others in humanity is continuously sourced, inexhaustibly sourced by the infinite to bring forth that for which you have been called to do in this world. Feel that sense of fulfillment like that young child before Christmas, knowing that for which they have asked, that magical something, it's already provided. Know that before you ask, Spirit knows what we have need of. And so live within that sense of grace and trust, knowing that God has its way, and it outpictures in your life, in relationships, in business, in interaction. For Spirit is in and through all things. There's no place that Spirit is not. So I know every prayer that has been brought forth to our prayer request chest is fulfilled. For the grace of God continues to move. Seaside continues to grow and thrive, and just continues to learn how to be there in ever greater ways for our ever-expanding family. So I say thank you for the words we've shared. They're the truth. It is in this state of grace and appreciation, not to anyone or anything outside. It's just coming from that state of it already being so, that I let go to that knowingness and know that there is infinite law that fulfills that here and now. So I let go and allow Spirit to have its way. So it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on, Seaside, sing it from your heart. Beautiful, come on. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, Seaside.
And our affirmation for the week is, I am joy to the world. Let's say that together. I am joy to the world. Touch your heart and say it again. I am joy to the world. One more time like you really mean it. Come on. I am joy to the world. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living